Hi, my name is Emma. I live in Australia, in Victoria, and I just wanted to share with you some of the horrible side effects that I had from the Mirena IUD. I got the Mirena IUD on the 11th of the 12th in 2009. When I had it inserted afterwards when I got up, I had a pain going from like a sciatica pain down the bottom half of my back, down behind the back of my right leg. I didn't bother mentioning anything to the doctor about it. I thought it'll hopefully go away eventually. Then I had my period on and off and a few little things like that on and off for a few months with the Mirena, and the doctor said that's nothing to be concerned about and that's normal for the Mirena. So didn't worry about that. But then nearly two years into having the Mirena in, I had some terrible things happening to my body. I had the shocking dizziness, pins and needles in my hands and my feet. Even at night time, I'd be sleeping and I'd just wake up and I'd have pins and needles throughout my whole body, especially in my pelvic area. And then the heart palpitations as well. I had terrible heart palpitations. A lot of that was at night time too. And I didn't know what was happening to me at the time. I thought maybe it was the Mirena, but I wasn't too sure with what was going on. So I went to my doctor and I said to my doctor, I told him the symptoms or things that were happening to me, and he thought it was my thyroid and all these sort of things. So they did thyroid tests and a few other blood tests. Things at that time were coming back normal. So, and I said to him, could it be the Mirena? And he said no. And I said, well, I'd like to have it taken out anyway, because I had never been on any form of prescription medication in the past for anything other than for contraception, and I had tried different pills when I was younger, but they all made me quite sick with nausea and vomiting. And then I tried the Depo-Provera at another stage, and I bled the whole time with that. So after our third child was born, I decided to try the Mirena, supposedly being a low-dose hormone and local. It's not supposed to go through your bloodstream and all this stuff, which is what they tell you, but it's totally not true. So I decided, for trying the Mirena, and he said to me that, it's not what was doing this, but I said to him, I'm not on any other medication, I'm not a drinker, I don't smoke, don't take any other forms of drugs or anything. The only thing that I have is a Mirena IUD, so I said I'd like to have it taken out. They weren't keen on taking the Mirena out. The doctors don't like to for some reason, unless you tell them that you want to have another child. So he decided in about a week, I think it was, after I spoke to him the first time, that I would have the Mirena taken out. I said to him, I really want it out now, and he said, okay, well, we'll do it now. Like I said, he was reluctant to do it, but eventually he did do it. After having it taken out, a few things did seem to go away for a while. I thought things were okay. My periods started to come back a little bit more regular and that kind of thing. But about 4 months after having the Mirena out, everything hit me so bad that I didn't know what was wrong with me and what was going on. I still had in my mind maybe it was a Mirena, but then I thought, well, it's been out for a little while, things seemed to have, and I thought had settled down after I had it taken out. So at that stage, I didn't know exactly what was happening, but I went to doctors because I ended up losing, well, it wasn't until I lost a huge amount of weight, but when I say huge amount, I went from 50 kilos down to 43 kilos in 3 weeks. So that was a bit of weight loss, and that was when the doctor decided to do some more testing, because I had dizziness, I had collapse on 2 occasions, I collapsed and fainted. I had anxiety, everything was just, I had rashes, I had skin rashes that would come and go. I didn't know what was causing this, I didn't know whether it was anything I was eating. I'd put myself on restrictions of foods just to see if it was something in my diet. I'd had these shocking migraines. I was breathless. I also went to the doctor saying to him that I'm having a hard time taking a deep breath in. Felt like I couldn't get enough oxygen in my lungs. I used to walk every day. I used to love walking and would walk every day. I couldn't walk anymore. I couldn't get out of bed. 2 weeks straight I was stuck in bed. At this point, I saw a different doctor. She said to me that we need to start doing some tests, especially when I lost the weight. She decided to do a pelvic ultrasound, which come back normal. I had an abdominal CT scan, which showed a stone in my left kidney, and things kept coming back with urine infections and these pus cells, and I didn't even know what they were talking about, but they couldn't find an end solution to where the problem was, what was happening. Then I had a gastroscopy and a colonoscopy, which came back normal. They then did an MRI of the brain, which came back normal. So all these testing that I had done was coming back normal, but inside I just felt like I was dying. I was so sick. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't eat anymore. I was consistently losing weight because I couldn't eat. I was just so ill. I had these adrenaline surges as well sometimes where, and you can't sleep. Like I couldn't sleep for days. You'd be awake and you'd be anxious. You'd wake up in the middle of the night all anxious, and I couldn't have decent rest. My body just wouldn't allow me to rest as much as I was so tired and couldn't get out of bed. My mind was just racing, and my body was just full of this adrenaline type of thing. I had unreasonable behaviour where I would tell the kids off and just be up and down, and I did become quite suicidal when things were really bad, because at that point we still didn't know exactly what was wrong with me. We could see and I could feel that it was like I was dying. I really thought that I was going to die, and that I just didn't know what was doing this to me. My 2 daughters were in the bed with me at one stage, and they just cried and said, "Mum, we don't want you to die. We don't want Mum to die." Because at that point we were actually planning for my funeral because I got so ill. We were planning on what would be best for the children, what would make it easier for them. It was very hard, but we got through it. I ended up starting to think, well, maybe it really is the Mirena then, because nothing else had shown up what was happening. I even started thinking that I had some sort of disease that they hadn't diagnosed yet, or a cancer, but they were testing and checking my bloods for cancers and things, and they couldn't find anything that was abnormal. But the next thing they were going to do was test me for MS, but then they did the MRI, which came back normal too. So we were all at a loss as to what was happening. So I decided to get on the internet and type in Mirena and side effects just to see if anything matched with what was happening with me. I was absolutely desperate at this point. And I came across a blog. Her name is Christy, and it's called My Life After Mirena. Now, reading her blog gave me so much hope. I cried and cried and cried, because every single symptom that she had on this blog was exactly what I was going through. The feelings that you feel, the physical side of things that you go through was exactly what was happening to me. Just every single part of it was, I was reading my own story. So I managed to contact Christy and talk to her and asked her what's happening with her and how she's gone. And she's seeing a naturopath, her naturopath over in America, and he's helped her a lot. I'm actually seeing a naturopath here in Melbourne, in Victoria, and she's been fantastic, because your doctor will tell you there isn't anything you can really do. They will try and give you anxiety medication and depression pills. I had a lot of digestive problems too, where I couldn't eat and feeling nauseous all the time, and then I'd have bloating, and then my stomach would be flat and pain all the time. So I've had a few digestive issues, and the doctor said, we can give you some medication for your stomach as well, but there really isn't anything that the doctors can really do for us with this. What they don't tell you is the Mirena actually has a silicon compound in it. I did keep my Mirena when I took it out, but I've misplaced it somewhere. But the T shape of the Mirena, that piece down the middle, is actually made of silicon, and our bodies attack the silicone trying to break it down to get rid of it, but there's so many toxins in our body that our liver is just unable to process all these toxins, so then it backs up into our system. If you read Christy's blog, it goes into great detail of the silicone toxicity and what everything of the whole Mirena and how it's affected our body. Her naturopath, Dr. J, has put 2 videos on YouTube on the Mirena, and he's done a fantastic job at explaining what goes on and what happens to us women with the silicone poisoning. One thing I can't understand with the company, with Bayer, that they have written that it consists of a small, soft, flexible plastic T-shaped frame which is inserted into the womb. They don't mention that the silicone's in there. But I looked at my Mirena, and yes, you can see the silicone. If you decide to take the Mirena out after watching this video, or at some stage you decide to have the Mirena taken out, ask your doctor for you to keep the Mirena, and you have a look at the middle section and you'll see that it is made of silicone. In this case, it's the same as some women with breast implants. Some are okay with it, some aren't okay with it. Some women's bodies attack it and get poisoned by the silicone. This is the same type of poisoning. So I've got a lot of friends who seem to be okay with the Mirena. I was one who wasn't okay with it, and I'm sure that there are many out there that aren't okay with it and are wondering what's going on with their body and what's happening to them. And because of the silicone breaking away, it seems as though a lot of the hormone, or all of the hormone that is wrapped in that is supposed to be slowly released over the 5 years, is into our system at one time, which is why we get so many hormonal disruptions, and so our hormones are so off balance with this thing. When this sort of thing happens, it makes you very, very sick. I have found great help in my naturopath. She's fantastic. She's been able to help me a lot. I no longer get the dizziness and the pins and needles, the heart palpitation. The anxiety is now down to very, very minimal. I was having some trouble sleeping as well, which she's been able to help me with that. The sleeping at night time's heaps better. The adrenaline surges where you get all this funny energy and you're just pacing the house all the time. That's also gone for me. Faintness and collapse, I haven't had that since I've started naturopathic therapy. The breathlessness has all gone for me. The unreasonable behaviour, well, I still get a bit of the PMS type symptoms, especially. For me, the hardest thing for me is from ovulation. From the time I'm ovulating to the time I get my period, that is the most difficult time for me. I never used to know when I was ovulating. I had no idea. But now I can tell, because I get shocking brain fog and excessively tired, which they were probably some of the worst symptoms, in the sense that once a lot of the other symptoms have gone, for me, the brain fog and the excessive tiredness was there a lot. My memory was terrible. I was very forgetful. It was awful that I couldn't remember things. At the time that I was really sick, I was even calling my kids different names. I lost sensation too on the right side of my body. I couldn't feel anything at all from the right side of my body, which is why I had been tested for MS. All that's gone. I'm back to normal with that too. The only way you really can go over this properly is through naturopathic help. You really need to see a naturopath. If you'd like to talk to me, you can either phone me on my mobile phone number, which is 0419 135680, or you can contact me on at g17.vic.australis.com.au. So g17@vic.australis.com.au. The other thing I really do suggest that you do is look at Christy's website, because she has put in a lot of time and has gone to a lot of trouble to help women like myself. If it wasn't for her, I don't know what I'd do, because I became very suicidal too in the end, when I didn't know what was going wrong with me, and I could feel that every part of my body was just shutting down, and I felt so sick. I didn't know what else I was going to do. Her blog is mylifeaftermirena.blogspot.com. So that's mylifeaftermirena.blogspot.com. So Christy had really helped me a lot reading her story. There's a part on there too for husbands and partners to read, because some women have struggled going through this with their partner, and it's been very helpful as well. So I hope this video has helped you to realise that you are not on your own. There are women out there just like you. I was one of them who has gone through this, and it's terrible to go through such a horrible experience. It's not very nice at all. You don't know what's happening to you. Doctors still, I don't know whether they don't understand that the Mirena is doing this to women, or whether they do know about it and they're trying to keep it quiet. I don't understand what's happening there. My doctor definitely didn't seem to think that a lot of my side effects were due to the Mirena, but it definitely has been proven that it is. Over in America, there is a silicon blood test that can be done for silicon poisoning, and over here in Australia I am looking very, very hard at the moment to try and find somewhere to be able to test for silicon poisoning. I haven't had a lot of success in doing that, so if anybody knows where we can be tested properly over here, so then that way we have some form of paperwork to show that it has, that we do have silicon poisoning, that would be great. You can get hold of me and let me know what we can do about that. But so far I haven't been successful here in Australia trying to find anywhere for testing for silicon poisoning. So I do hope this has helped, and remember not to give up hope, and to try and stay strong. Please read Christy's blog. You'll find a lot of helpful information there, and I hope that we can all get better soon. Okay, thank you for watching.